Hello all. So today we are here for the prelims question of geography subject, right? And what we want to achieve from this video or the explanation part of the previous year questions, we want to achieve the analysis of type of questions, and we want to achieve if any question gets repeated, okay, repeated in any form, then you should be able to do that question, right? Now, moving to the next first question, with reference to the Earth's atmosphere, which one of the following statement is correct? Okay, so question says it is a 2023 question of prelims of the prelims of 2023. So a total amount of insolation received at the equator is roughly about 10 times the received at the poles. So any person who is preparing for the prelims may not be knowing that whether it is 10 times or not. Okay, so this is a type of question which goes very in depth of the question, right? Now, moving to the next option, infrared rays constitute roughly 2/3 of the insulation. So a person faces the same challenge, a person who is attempting the prelims paper at the time of the exam again faces the same challenge, whether it is roughly 2/3 of the insulation or not. Okay, and then moving to the next option, infrared waves are largely absorbed by the water vapor that is concentrated in the lower atmosphere. Okay, we know that water vapors are concentrated in the lower atmosphere, that is the troposphere. Okay, so troposphere is there, and in troposphere only the majority of the, or 90% of the water, 90 to 95% of the water vapors are concentrated, that we already know. But whether this infrared waves are absorbing these are being absorbed by the water vapor, let's see this. And the last statement says infrared waves are the part of the visible spectrum of the electronic waves of the solar radiation. That this statement is the fundamental statement that everyone of the students should be able to get. Okay, so infrared waves cannot be part of the visible spectrum. So this is wrong. Statement D is wrong. So I am remaining with only 3 options. Okay, so I have to find the correct one. So this statement C I can logically think about. Okay, we know that when the solar radiations come, they come in the higher frequency, and when they leave, okay, when the earth emits the radiation back, then the lower frequency is emitted. Okay, lower frequency is emitted, and this lower frequency is being absorbed by the greenhouse gases. This is the fundamental knowledge that every person who is preparing for this UPSC has, right? So we know that when we see the visible spectrum of the light, right? So when we see the visible spectrum of the light, let me draw it here. When we'll seeing the visible spectrum of the light, waveguide will be there. Okay, and from here to here the frequency will be increasing. Okay, and beyond this red is the infrared IR. Okay, and beyond this violet is ultraviolet rays. So we know that frequency of ultraviolet rays is very high, but frequency of infrared is very low, or lower compared to the visible light. So yes, if infrared rays will be emitted by the Earth's atmosphere, okay, Earth's surface, then this will be absorbed by the greenhouse gas, and this water vapor is also a greenhouse gas. Okay, so which contributes to global warming. So yes, this statement is going as per the correctness, and we are able to verify the correctness of this statement, and we will be marking this option C as the answer. Okay, so this is the logic behind this question. Very simple, very straightforward question, but these 2 statements have been given to the student in order to confuse him. Okay, so if we see the answer, This infrared waves are largely absorbed by the water vapors, which are considered in lower atmosphere. Infraviolet's are the wavelengths which are absorbed by the water vapor, that is considered in lower atmosphere. Characteristic of water vapor plays a significant role in Earth's climatic system as well as greenhouse effect that we have already talked about. Climate impact is also there because of the increasing the water vapors. So it is creating a positive feedback mechanism in order to increase the climate change and global warming of the Earth's. Okay, so this is the thing that is the impact of the climate change in the recent years. So this was the question, and I hope the question and the basic logic behind the answer is clear to you. Okay, so this also implies one of a fundamental thing, that what is the visible spectrum of light spectrum, and as well as the near about frequencies. You should also know about near about the spectrum of the light, that you should know about. Okay, so this you should remember for your prelims when you are going to appear in the future. Okay, now moving to the next question. In the northern hemisphere, the longest day of the year normally occurs in first half of the month of the June, second half of the month of the June, first half of the month of the July, or second half of the month of the July. So which one is correct? So we already know that the longest day in the northern hemisphere how can it be there? So when the earth, you know that earth is tilted at its axis, okay, and sun is largely static. Okay, sun is static. So the longest day in the northern hemisphere can only be happening when the earth is still tilted towards, or northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun. Right, so that is why this thing can only be done in the month of the June. Okay, June or July. So that is why this type of options have been given. Now which one is the best option here? Right, so which one is the best option here? So we already know that this summer solstice is experienced in the northern hemisphere on the 21st of the June. That this is the date that you should remember in order to remember the days of the earth. Okay, whenever there is the longest day or the shortest days, these are the days that you should remember in the geography. Right, so this is the reasoning behind the answer. So our correct answer is B, that is the second half of the month of the June, because 21st of the June will be in the second half. Okay, and because of this, the second half, or option B, will be the answer. Summer solstice is occurring on the 21st of June, and we know that hemisphere difference is there. Winter in the southern hemisphere. When there is a summer in the northern hemisphere, okay, summer in northern hemisphere, at the same point of the time there will be winter in southern hemisphere. Right, and also since the portion of the northern hemisphere is getting light from the sun, the summer region is in the north of the equator, and on 21st of the June, that is second half of the month of the June, there will be longest day and shortest night in the northern hemisphere. So this is what you should remember for your prelims when you will be going to appear it in the next time. Okay, now moving to the next question. If a major solar storm or solar flare reaches the earth, which of the following are the possible effects on the earth? This is the prelims question that has been asked in the 2022 year, and this is fairly an analytical as well as application based question. Okay, and we will be able to reach to the answer by the use of the logics. Okay, so we already know what is the solar storm or solar flare. Solar flare are the electromagnetic type of charged particles which are emitted by the sun towards any planet or towards its surrounding, and it reaches to earth also. Now when it reaches to the earth, we already know that this earth is having magnetic field around it, and these solar flares etc are being destroyed okay, up to an extent are being destroyed by the earth because of the charged particles interact with the magnetic field of the earth. But what are the effects if the solar flare or solar storm comes up, if the storm is very high? So GPS and navigation systems could fail. And we already know that if this is the earth, then GPS satellites revolve around the earth, and these satellites will always be in the danger when these flares will be coming on the satellites. So GPS navigation could fail. We can think about it. Tsunamis, if we see the second statement, tsunamis could occur at the equatorial region. Okay, so what is the cause of the tsunami? Tsunami is caused because of the volcanic eruptions. Okay, because of the earthquakes. So this tsunami cannot be directly related to the solar flares. So I have to mark this option as wrong. Power grids could damage. I may not be able to mark this question, right? Okay, and intense auras could occur as over much of the earth. That we already know. Then when the solar flares come, then this auras comes at the north as well as the south pole of the earth. Okay, we know this. Fourth and first will be in our option. Okay, so if the first will be in our option, then we are able to eliminate option B. Okay, if fourth will be in our option, then fourth is everywhere. Now we will see this fifth option. Forest fires could take place over the much of the planet. So how can the forest fires take place? Forest fires requires very high amount of the temperature, but this temperature cannot reach to the earth. That I have already told you, because this earth's magnetic field will be able to reduce a lot of solar flares in the atmosphere itself. So this thing cannot take place. So I have to eliminate fifth also. Right? So fifth cannot be in my answer. I have reached my answer. Even the orbits of the satellite could be disturbed. Yes, that I have already talked about. Short wave radio communication can also be interrupted. That also can be possible effect of this solar flare. Okay, so this is the thing. These type of analytical questions you can also solve by using the logics, right? If you are able to apply these logics on the day of the exam, right? So correct option is C. Solar flare. What is the solar flare? Is an intense outburst of the radiation coming from the release of the magnetic energy associated with the sunspots. So sunspots are there within the sun, and then there's these magnetic regions. Magnetic energy is getting released by the sun from these sunspots. These solar flares have electromagnetic effects. Okay, explosive heat of the solar can't make it all way to our globe. We can't, this solar flares cannot reach to the Earth's surface. Okay, that is why statement 5 cannot be said to be, it can be said to be wrong, right? Disruption. What is the disruption that takes place? This solar can temporarily alter the upper atmosphere, and it can create disruptions, and signal transmissions etc. can get disturbed, and because of this GPS satellites and even it can get disturbed. GPS satellites and GPS signals can get disturbed. Okay, and their orbits also can be disturbed to a large extent. Okay, so if we see this elimination technique, this is the hint that could have been used by you in order to reach to the right answer. Statement 2 is very specific. There is no direct correlation between the solar storm and the tsunamis that we have already talked about. Tsunamis are caused because of the earthquake. So by using this option 2 and eliminating all the options, then I will be eliminating A, B as well as D, and I will be directly reaching to the option C. This type of things can be done by you within at the time of the exam, when you are sitting right there in order to attempt the questions.
Quick moment before we further go into the video. Strive IS Academy brings you a powerful lineup of programs designed to sharpen your preparation and help you conquer the UPSC Civil Services exam. Kickstart your mains journey with Master the Mains 2026. 35 weeks of answer writing, 2 questions daily, Monday to Friday, 20 unit tests plus 7 half-length tests, 1-to-1 mentorship twice a month, essay writing on curated topics. All of this now just at rupees 7,499, 50% off for the first 100 students. Master the art of essay writing with our All India Essay Test Series 2025. 10 full-length essay tests designed to boost philosophical and contemporary thinking. Use the promo code ESSAY and get it at just rupees 999. Need a disciplined push for prelims? Join the Mission 75 for free 75-day UPSC Prelims strategy plan. Daily telegram targets, 3-step revision strategy, CSAT prep plus current affairs, full-length mock tests. For all of these targets, no fees, no hidden charges, just UPSC success. Test yourself before UPSC does with our robust prelims test series for 2025. 37 high-quality tests, sectional plus full-length, full syllabus coverage with expert curated topics, static plus current affairs linkages, valid till 31st May 2025 only at rupees 999. You can check all of these courses on our website and our Telegram channel, the link to which will be given in the description box.
Okay, now moving to the next question. Consider the following pairs and the rivers which flows into, right? So these are the rivers, and this is the water body which in which this river flows, right? And this is a question of 2020 prelims. Okay, let's see this question. Mekong flows into Andaman Sea. Thames River flows into Irish Sea, Volga River, Caspian Sea, and Zambezi into Indian Ocean. Okay, so Mekong is a river which flows through China, and then it flows through this region of Myanmar, and then Thailand, etc. These are the regions where this Mekong keeps on flowing. So it will be flowing towards the South China Sea. Okay, South China Sea. Andaman Sea is in the Bay of Bengal. Okay, not in the Bay of Bengal, but in the Andaman region. And this this Mekong cannot flow into the Andaman Sea. Okay, so by this logic, this first is not correctly matched. First pair is not correctly matched. So I will be able to eliminate option A as well as option D. Now Thames flows into Irish Sea. Okay, I may be considering the student who is not knowing this thing when he is sitting in the exam. Okay, so we should leave this too. Then we will move to Volga River. Volga River flows into Caspian Sea. Most of the students know that this is correct, but for the sake of easy understanding, let's take it that student doesn't know this. But Zambezi is flowing into Indian Ocean. That everyone may be knowing it, because this is the most important river of this African region, and Zambezi flows directly into the Indian Ocean towards the from the west towards east of the African Union. Sorry. So this statement is correct. So when this statement is fourth is correct, then I am only marking, or I am only reaching to option C. Then I will mark this option as correct, and then I will move forward. Right. So this is the Zambezi River here, right? And this is the Mekong River that flows from approximately from China towards this Southeast Asian nations. And okay, what about the Thames River? Thames River flows through London, and it empties into the North Sea and not the Irish Sea. That you should remember for your further prelims. Okay, then it moves into the North Sea. Okay, and Volga River flows into Caspian Sea, Zambezi flows into Indian Ocean, and Mekong River flows from Tibet, and it flows from the 6 countries Southeast Asia and empties into South China Sea and not Andaman Sea, that we have already talked about. So these are type of the things that you should prepare when you are preparing the map based questions. Right, so mapping based questions can be prepared, and these are some of the questions that are easily tackled in the exam. Okay, now moving to the next question. On the 21st June, the sun this was asked in 2019, and I can see, and you also can see, that this 21st June has also been asked in our first question, that is in the prelims 2023. So this is the type of things that you should mark in the prelims questions, right? So this type of questions can get this type of logical questions can get repeated. Now, first statement says does not set below the horizon at Arctic Circle. Okay, on 21st, sun does not set below the horizon at the Antarctic Circle. Option C says it shines vertically overhead at the noon on the equator. It shines vertically overhead at the Tropic of Capricorn. This is the option D that is saying. Okay, that we have already understood about the 21st June. What is the position of Earth and the Sun? Okay, that this has been seen in the question number 1, right? So Earth is tilted towards the northern part of the Earth is tilted towards the Sun, and this is the situation in on the 21st of June. Okay, this is the Tropic of Cancer, and this is the Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, and this is the equator. Now, if we see it, if we see this statement number C, it shines vertically overhead at the noon of the equator. Can any person who is on the equator, can this sun be overhead of him? Can sun's shadow or his shadow form at his feet? No, because this shadow will be forming at an angle. So this statement goes. Statement C cannot be there. It shines vertically. Let's see option D. It shines vertically over at the Tropic of Capricorn. If any person is standing here, can the sun be at his overhead? No, sun is at an angle, so his shadow will be forming at an angle. So this option is also not correct. Now we should see some. There should be some answer in A or B statement. Let's see statement number B. Does not set below the horizon at Antarctic Circle. Sun is towards the Arctic Circle, and it doesn't have any relation to the Antarctic Circle. Antarctic Circle will be in the southern part of the Earth. Okay, so Antarctic circles throughout this Antarctic Circle, sun will be setting. Sun will set at the dawn. No, so not the dawn, dusk, right? So this will be setting, but statement says it does not set. So this option is also wrong. Only the answer is option A. It does not set below the horizon at the Arctic Circle, because sun is already towards the Arctic Circle. So at that day, sun will not set throughout the day. It will be 24-hour day during 21st of June. So these are the type of things or logics that you should use in order to go to the answer. Okay, in order to reach to the right answer. So on 21st June, the sun is correct answer. It does not set over the horizon at the Arctic Circle. It is the summer solstice that we have already discussed. It is the longest day in the northern hemisphere. Right. So these type of questions can only be solved when you have prior understanding of the topics of the geography. Right. So these are so consider these questions and prepare them thoroughly, so that you should not get them wrong when you attempt the prelims question next time. Okay, and I hope these questions get repeated and you are able to get 2 marks extra. Right. Okay, so we are going to close this session today, and we will be coming back to with more understanding and more previous year questions. And till that point of the time, keep studying, and please follow and subscribe the YouTube channel.